For our next session, we have Ashish Tiwari. Ashish brings deep experience in system design and architecture with a current focus on generative AI, vector search, embeddings, and retrieval augmented generation. An open source enthusiast and a active community contributor, Ashish shares his knowledge through blogs, talks, and initiatives. Today, he will be speaking on designing multi-agent systems on AWS Agent Core using MCP integrations. Please join me in welcoming Ashish Tiwari.
Hello. Hello. Is it good? Hello. Yeah. Is it audible? Okay. Okay. Great. It's great to be here, guys. Today, I think let me check if it is working. Wow. Hello. Is it good? Yeah. I think it's great to be here, guys. I think it's my second time in Kochi. I met some of the familiar faces 2 years back. I was here for the same event. And I talk on the RAG and searches. You know, the Soom has covered these parts. So so today I'm going to talk on how you can design the multi-agent system, you know, by using the AWS Agent Core. So I know into the keynote you got the glimpse what is the AWS Agent Core looks like. So just before proceeding, how many of you right now working on agents or building agents by any chance? You're playing around agents? No? Yes? What kind of the agents you're building, if may I ask? HR assistants? Perfect. HR assistants, right? Some people have built it, right? Support assistant. If you want to automate the support kind of, and you want to eliminate all the human kind of intervention. How many of you believe that AI can replace human? Not human, I mean, when I say the resource, human resources like this kind of support assistant kind of use cases. How many of you believe? You believe, sir? All right, anyone else? Okay, I think it's just 1%. Maybe I can just taking the ballpark figure, but yeah. So okay, we'll see how it looks like. And so this is Ashish. I'm from Mumbai, and I work for Elastic. I work for Elastic as a principal solution architect. I mean, I mostly handle the search deals. I think the search and GenAI deals into India. So I help the client with their search tuning. Anyone who's working on search, anyone in like Elasticsearch to do the Boolean must query, or you do the boosting. Okay, so if you for example, if you are building anything like a search bar, the functionality behind the search bar, which is typically looks like a like query for most of the developer, you hit the MySQL and you get the like query, right? And you search it. So it's not just a like query, it's a much more beyond that. Like if you heard of Elasticsearch, right? So it's a search engine, right? Why it's called the search engine? Because it's give the functionality to build a more better search, right? Like autocomplete, like search as you type. Like the keyword which you are typing, the result, you should get the desired results. Like if I'm searching for the matar paneer, or I'm getting the malai kofta or something, right? This is not a relevant result. So this is the search comes into picture. So this is what I do in my day-to-day life. I help the clients tune their search queries so that they can get the better results on the surface, right? Sometime in the promotion, you know, in the movie sites, you start typing the keyword, maybe the action movie, or suddenly you start getting the Bahubali because it gets recently released. How it happens, right? How that results gets boosted up on the top. So I help with that, right? And parallelly, these days, since everyone is talking about AI, I also have to talk about AI, and I have to get myself involved into AI, right? So I work with the RAG agents these days, and even retrieval augmented generation. I think Soom has covered into previous topic, but RAG. So you're working on a RAG, right? Retrieval augmented generation. So if you are building the chat assistant kind of stuff, you don't need to train the model, right? It's a very traditional way right now, but you can something achieve with the help of RAG, right? So I mostly help my clients around that. So this is quickly about me, but in today's session, we're going to see how you can create a multi-agent system, right? The multi-agent system, and by using the AWS Agent Core. And we're going to see what is the limitation, what is the challenge you face, right? So I'll go 2-3 years back, okay? How it gets started, right? So suddenly this paper come. Anyone who read this paper? Yeah, right? Almost, yes. So attention is all you need, right? And then this player come into market, right? And suddenly LLMs got boom. But to be honest, if you see the GPT-2, like GPT first version, they are started with a 2017, right? But it's get boomed into something 2022, right? And everyone then switch their query to, instead of going on Google, they switch to completely ChatGPT. How many of you completely relying on ChatGPT? You're completely relying 100%? You can be honest with me. No? All right. How many of you generating the code by using LLM? Okay, okay. Just keep your raised hand up, right? How many of these folks are deploying that code on production? You're deploying the code. How's the experience? I can see 1%. Yeah. How's the experience, sir? Is it good? It's going good, right? What kind of the code you're generating? Like Golang, and so it's like a boilerplate code application or like a business logic as well. Awesome, awesome, great. So I think, yeah, still it's a 2%. Like I saw the two hands, but still there is a 98% people who are not confident about it, right? We're going to talk about how you can build such agents, maybe the coding agents, maybe the chat assistant, or maybe the knowledge agent, and how you can build quickly with the help of AWS Agent Core. But in this talk, instead of focusing on intelligence, like everyone is talking about LLM today. Now I saw all the talk because it's an AI era. It's obvious everyone's going to talk AI, but everyone is talking about intelligence. But I want to more talk on control, right? So let's get back and how it started. It started like with this paper, and then the player come, and then mostly the LLMs player start coming like a Gemini, and we having a Bedrock. One of the good the AWS suite is available. So we have started asking a question into the chat GPT, right? And if I ask you to create a strand agent, or maybe to create some program for the chat, for the chat kind of stuff, what was our approach? You take the input, you pass to the LLM, whatever the LLM you are using, and whatever the response is giving, just give it to the user, right? As a developer, I did that in a very first version of that, right? Now, how it has got evolved, sorry. What if you add about, okay, show me the restaurant near my 5 kilometer of radius and with the good masala dosa and dessert, right? Now, what do you think if you ask to any LLM, okay, I don't want to name any LLM right now, but any LLM, right, X, is it going to give the right answer for this? Because it's your personal data. No, right? What is going to do? Okay, maybe the response could be the hallucinative. It's going to hallucinate you, right? Or maybe it's give you some workaround, some kind of reference, most probably, right? But of course, they don't have our personal data access, which is also known as a context, right? So this is where the context comes into picture, right? Where we put everything, all the data, our private data into some of the data source. Like I usually prefer Elastic. I mean, not because I'm from Elastic, but that could be the different discussion why Elastic is the best data source for this. But people usually like the client which I'm dealing with, what they are doing is they are dumping all the private data, whether it's your PDF, whether it's your knowledge base, everything into Elasticsearch. They are storing into both of the format. One is the vectorized format, one is the plain text format. And whatever the first query will come, like show me the restaurant near 5 kilometer of radius, right? That query first hit this, not directly hit to the LLM. By hitting this, we get the best context window. Now, my top 10 or top 50 result would be we will consider as a context window, because it's a highly accurate result, right? The matching. And how this query gets converted into Elasticsearch, that's another thing, right? So masala dosa for me, it's like a dish. 5 kilometer radius, it's for me, it's a geospatial query, right? If you are working on like a food tracking or some object tracking, or maybe the kind of stuff, you must be encountering with the geospatial type of query, where you have to perform the shape query, in my 2 kilometer or 5 kilometer of radius. I think Sum has asked, but let me ask again, how many of you are active on Tinder? Nobody? I can't believe this. Okay, so if you are on Tinder, you go and you just do left swipe, right swipe. How they are doing, how they are matching your preference, That's all about the geospatial, right? It works on a geospatial, like a range of the query in your area. Then your preferences come, male, female, or whatever the preference you have. So, and this is how it's get the good match, right? And this is where the same way we give the best search results. Now the vector search you already know. Anyone who want to give the quick vector, what is a vector search? Anyone? Anyone? Semantic search, vector search? Anyone heard of this? Anyone? Okay, I have some goodies who are answering me. Let me give you some motivation. Yeah, this is a motivation I have. Yes, sir. Please go ahead. Sure. All right. Yes. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Awesome. Your name, sir? Rajit, guys, big hand for the Rajit. Yeah? All right. I think this is precisely what is happening. So if I have tell you into the one-liner, instead of searching on a keyword-based, like a like query, we're going to search on the meaning of that keyword or context of that keyword. You know, sometimes is happening. We don't remember exact keyword, but we start typing the string, the keyword around that context, and we get the desired results. For example, if you go and search for action movies, you should get the Bahubali, maybe like a platform like Netflix and Prime Video. This is the classic example of that, right? So how things are working? This is powered by the vector DB. Like Elasticsearch is itself as a vector DB. So what you have to do is you pass your all the plain text data to embedding model. The way we having a chat model, we having an embedding model, right? You pass to it, it will give you the long numbers, long floats. You store those floats into Elasticsearch, and when you hit the search, it will hit keyword-based search like a plain text search as well as the vector search. It will do the two kind, like a both way of the search, and it will merge the result. It will give you the highest accurate result into that. So when I'm going to fire this kind of question, show me the restaurant near 5 kilometer of radius and all those stuff, these queries going to hit full text search engine as well as the vector search into Elastic, both, right? Now with that, it will come with the top 10, top 50 result, right? Maybe which is the best restaurant for the tawa fry fish I recently had yesterday. I mean, that was one of the major motivation to be in Kochi. But you want to find like, so it will come with that result, okay? That result we're going to give to LLM by passing the same question, right? And the LLM will generate the response from that, and that response we give it to the user. That's it. That's how, if you want to build a chatbot, go for this. Don't go for traditional way of the like ML training or everything, because it's come with a cost, it's come with the effort, right? So this approach is also known as the RAG, retrieval augmented generation, which I was mentioning about, right? You give the better context, yeah, and you give to the LLM, and LLM will generate the response. It's not going to hallucinate you. The reason being, we are not going to use the knowledge base of LLM, okay? And I always say to my, the customers, stop treating LLM like a database. Don't expect they know everything, right? They don't know. I mean, they don't know every, like they only know on the database they have trained, but not everything, correct? So this is where the RAGs comes into picture, right? Now see, this is, you want to build the chat assistant. RAG is go-to tool. Now, okay, RAG was well for the chat, but what if we need to take action? For example, I given the same thing. Okay, give me the good restaurant with the good tawa fry fish within my 5 kilometer radius, and you got the list of restaurant. Now you in the chat itself, you want to say book good surmai or pomfret, a good fish for me from this restaurant, right? In a chat itself. How are you going to do this? Now, chat is becoming the new way of interface if you are encountering, right? Everything is becoming chat. Even I was talking to one of the e-commerce website. They have built everything, all the experience, user journey into chat itself. Like the Chat GPT has launched, if you know, to do the payment, they give all the integration payment gateway. They have integrated everything, and you will get the payment link into the chat interface itself. You just select your cart, add to your cart, do the payment, and you are done. Your user journey is finished within that tiny window. So this is what, the user interface is getting changed. And this is where, if you have to take this action, you want to build the functionality, whether should not be just chat, it should not be just an information flow, but it should be able to take an action, how you can build it, right? This is where the AI agents comes into picture, right? What is AI agents, guys? Just quickly, like, I know we are hearing agents, you must be knowing, but quick, it's an autonomous or semi-autonomous kind of software system, right? Which can, which can plan, reason, and take a decision, and take action as well from the behalf of you. Of course, how much control you have to give, it's up to you. You cannot, I know even I can't give the 100% control to the agents, but of course you can automate certain things, like partial things, right? So this is where the AI agents comes into picture now. Yes, this is one of the stats. If you check the Gartner report, so this is one of the stats. Like by 2028, the 33% enterprise software apps will be including agents. Now, I can see the few people already working on agents, and they are running on deploy, like I said, right? So yes, I think, and I'm sure after the year or something, developer in the house, they are start building agents, but not the microservices. So the things are getting changed like this, right? Now, but AI agents have their own complexity. Anyone who has attempted the agent, I think Sir has attempted the agent. I saw the few hands, but anyone wanted to tell what is the challenge while building the agent? RBAC, rollback, rollback access. Yes, anyone else? Memory issues, perfect. I think we covered in the keynote. All right, okay. So better memory, of course, the context. They don't have. They should have a better context. Tool and action and actuator. So agent should have a proper tool to take an action, to hit, maybe to get the relevant results, to hit the action, maybe hit the right API call and everything, right? Another is the reasoning and knowledge. What if they don't have your private data, or they don't have your own private knowledge source? It's not going to work with you, right? Control and safety, the same point, the RBAC and everything now. Now, to eliminate all this stuff, we got something called MCP. Not exactly it's eliminating everything, but this is where the standards comes into picture. So it's in 2024, like Anthropic has released this protocol. And why it is released? Because to provide the context, right? Anyone can, everyone were giving the context in their own way, in their own format, right? Now, it's the standard things came into picture, like we call it as a model context protocol. So you use the MCP protocol to provide any kind of context, right? So MCP comes into picture. Now, let's take a same example like a chat assistant. Now, instead of directly building the RAG, what you can do is you spin your MCP server, MCP client. Whatever the question is coming, you pass to the MCP client. Then MCP client will pass to the MCP server, and MCP server will responsible to call specific API or specific database wherever that particular data is sitting. It's this particular MCP server is going to decide which data source I should call, right? Now, for example, if I have an MCP client, I have my data source sitting into Elastic. Now, what I can do is I can connect as many as MCP server I want. For example, I can add the MongoDB. I can add the Playwright. For example, in my private data sets, like about my organization, it's sitting here. In about the product knowledge, it's sitting here, right? You can say something like, yes, and Microsoft is holding something else, right? So if you have noticed, all the platform has started exposing their own MCP tool, MCP server. What is the reason behind it? So this is the reason. Like if you want to build something where you are building like a chat assistant kind of stuff, an agentic stuff, you build the agent, you connect the MCP server, and you are done. You are literally done. There is no logic you have to add it, right? So, and you keep adding, like GitHub, if you want to, now you can question, what happened to my this PR request about issue ID? This MCP client will take care, because here the LLM is running, it will take a decision, I should call the GitHub MCP server, and that's it. And MCP server will call the GitHub APIs and all everything to get the desired result, like about your PR result, about your PR request, right? So, but there is a challenge here. There is a small challenge again. Now, as you see, everyone can run. There is an n number of the MCP servers now involved. Now, right now, dealing with the 5, it's okay. But it's if you're dealing with the more, right, then you can go more. And if you are working into the giant organization, you will end up by spinning thousands of MCP servers. Now, it's not easy to scale. It's not easy to maintain, right? And the biggest reason is it's a stateless. And if we are talking about the agent, we need a stateful kind of connections every time, right? So, for example, everyone is, I mean, after the year or something, even today, everyone is going to create their own agent. For example, if I am there, I'm creating my individual agent for my own purpose, but on the departmental level, there is another agents, and you're going to build some other agents for, to do some process, maybe to read from the PDF file, crawl the data or something. You're going to create agents for individual tasks. Now, you will end up by creating a many agents, n number of agents. How are you going to handle that? Right? This is where okay, now there's a key MCP server challenge, right? How you're going to deploy is another challenge, the MCP server. You have to run those MCP server in your environment. Sometime like a tool like platform like Elastic, they expose MCP server. You don't have to run it. But yeah, mostly it's a single tenant. It's a stateful design, right? Weak or ad hoc authentication. I think there's a gentleman raised that point, like there is no RBAC. How are you going to handle whether this particular agent should accessible by this particular user only, right? No built-in load balancing, the way we are doing these days, like into the traditional microservices architecture, there's no built-in load balancing and failover and the horizontal scaling, right? Cool. So this is where the Amazon Bedrock agent core comes into picture. Now, the agent core is not another framework. Don't compare with like a framework like a LangGraph and everything. It is distributed. You can say it's just a system. It's an agent system which can deploy your agent distributedly, right? We'll see how. So Bedrock gives you the complete suite, complete framework to deploy the agent core runtime, give the easiness to deploy your agents, right? You have a memory access. Agent core will take care of the memory, right? Because you have to preserve the conversation or all the history. Maybe if I'm raising a question which we talk about 2 years back, that conversation somewhere has to store. That is we call memory. Maybe it's a long term or short term. It will take care automatically, right? Identity, access management, gateway, code interpreter we have, browser tool, observability, and we'll see more. All right, so this is a 3 component. I mean, I have basically categorized this. So there's a 3 component enhanced with the tools and memory. So you get the memory, you get the gateway. Now, what is a gateway, guys? So gateway is, considered like a one giant gateway, API gateway, like maybe load balancing, not the load balancing, but behind that gateway, you just keep enable as many as MCP server you want. And that and you have every time you have to call that gateway, nothing else. The gateway will decide where that call should get routed, and gateway will do all the RBAC stuff. You can create the access control. You can control with the IAM policy into AWS, everything, right? There is a browser tool. If you want to do the if you want to make your agent perform some browser kind of operation, for example, filling the form, crawling the data and something, you can do it with the browser too. Like there's a code interpreter if you want to generate the code and you want to deploy automatically, right? So you can do it. We got the runtime, we got the identity as well. Identity is a self-explanatory like a RBAC, right? Where which user should have access of what agent. You can completely build into this, right? Now, this is what the agent code gateway looks like. I think this is a wonderful blog we have onto AWS platform. But what you can going to do is, all the tools access, like the Lambda function, the way I've shown you, the MongoDB, GitHub, everything will be sit behind this. And you have to just call the agent code gateway. That's it. And agent code gateway is going to take care of how your, access control, authorization, all those stuff, rate limit, if you want to put, everything is going to take care by this, right? So if you're building with the agents, these days, we got the n number of notebooks available, right? You download, you get run through it. But the problem is, LLMs are good with the notebook. If you put into the production, you're going to, it's going to, a disaster for you. Similarly, if you have a RAG, it's a good with a single query. Like saying is, I'm saying is, it is a good into demo environment, but not when you put everything on a production, it's going to on a toss, right? Right? Especially into scalability, correct? Now we got the agent code runtime, right? It's a runtime. Make sure you scale the deploy. For example, if you want to got the heavy traffic in one of the agent, you can actually scale with the help of the agent code, but you cannot do with the traditional MCP kind of approach, right? And at the end, we get the visibility to, operate agent can trust you out, right? And the last thing is we got the observability. So for example, somewhere I was reading that people has to turn off their agent not because of they are hallucinating, but because of the AWS bill. Yeah, because you don't know, right? What is happening with the agent? It's tough to track. What is the number of the token exhaust, right? What is the data flow between that, right? You need a better observability on the place to control everything, right? So this is where the observability comes into picture, where you can expose your agent core, expose their all the logs, all the metric via OpenTelemetry. Now, with the help of the anyone OpenTelemetry, SRE, DevOps in the house, OpenTelemetry who have used? So basically, OpenTelemetry is an open source tool. You can get the OpenTelemetry standard, and you can use any of the observability platform like Elastic. You put OTel into Elastic and create a dashboard. You can actually create a dashboard. What is happening with my agents? You can actually monitor with that, right? So you can and you can monitor each and every component into agent code, right? How your individual agent is doing. So these are some of like agent code having from the console as well, and there is a good SDK available on the CLI basis. You just install it, and it's a few, the few commands I've just listed. It's not, I'm not covering everything, but it's a very easy to create. It's a very easy agent code, create, dev, deploy, all this just a single command. Now the beauty is, you don't need to change your code if you have an existing agent. For example, if you have written in LangGraph or LangChain kind of framework, you don't need to touch your code base. You take your code, you deploy as it is, because it's a framework agnostic. It's not a framework, as I said. It's a framework, and you build your agent maybe into Crew AI or something like that, and you deploy into agent code. Agent code will take care of everything. Now, how many of you using Lambda? AWS Lambda? Yes, Lambda. Now, consider if that Lambda function you have to create like as a MCP endpoint or tool, you can create with the help of agent code. So what agent code will do? It will add the wrapper on the top of your Lambda, and it will add the MCP wrapper on the top of it, and it will you can deploy as an agent complete Lambda function into your agent code, and it will become part of your the agent code only. Now you start asking a question whenever it required is going to hit that particular Lambda function. So it's way more easy, right? Don't invent the wheel again, right, guys? If you have written anything, you can go and deploy as it is. All right, behind the scene, everything is powered by Bedrock. I think this is what the beauty is. You get the models, you got the capabilities, the agent code, right? The platform itself, the runtime gateway and everything. You got the flexible OSS. Like if you want to start with the Strands agent, the very from scratch, you can create it. You got the SageMaker. Anyone using SageMaker? SageMaker? The Bedrock SageMaker is pretty much, if you want to build the model, you want to train it, you want to do the fine tuning, you can do it, and you can do the continuous fine tuning. You can continuously deploy, right? AI compute and everything. So it's complete end-to-end ecosystem available. So please go and give a try with the agent code. This is a quick getting started. Okay. Now what you can do is this is a GitHub link. Okay. You can go. There is a pre-built notebooks available for the runtime, for the gateway, how you can create agents quickly. Go download it, run as it is. Of course, create an AWS account and everything, get your access, and start as it is. You will start getting the idea how it is working, right? So with that, I'm stopping here and I'm open for a question, guys, if you have anything. Any question?
As a small token of appreciation, we'd like to give you a gift. And for that, I invite Sharika onto the stage.
One of the proactive member, I must say. She was like, where is your deck? Where is your deck? Thanks, Sarika. Thank you, the whole team, and for the wonderful show. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
In the